English.
It's fine.
Or cut it out in.
You haven't heard mine yet, so you can. All right.
I don't know. I have a problem when I have to talk English in front of people. When I'm on my own or I have to write, I think I'm good. I'm not experienced. That's why.
I see. Well, then it will be even more invaluable, I think. Great.
Yeah. I'll try my best.
I will as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here, this is just for my questions in case I forget something. So. Okay. So, could you please remind me your name?
My name is Chrisostomos, but you can just call me Chris because it's easier.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Chris. Okay, how was today, Chris?
What?
How was today?
Today?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll find it. You mean the exam? Or
Just today in general.
How's your day going?
oh, my
Yeah.
day? Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, well, I think it's going... well, specifically today is a great day because I had the chance to be in the university and I didn't do it for a while, so actually almost never, but
That's cool.
so yeah, I think that's part of the day is going great.
Yeah.
I also had the chance to meet two fellow students because I haven't met a fellow student all this time. Yeah, as you can see, I am pretty influenced by this whole situation. But anyway.
Wow, that's great. We are glad to hear that. Okay, so could you please provide us a bit of your background? Like, what are your current studies? Where do you come from?
Yeah, okay, I'm coming from Greece. Well, if you mean my study background, I did my bachelor's in physics, and at my last year I specialized in cosmology, and hence I decided to follow the cosmology track here in Leiden. So now I'm doing my master's and I'm following the cosmology track. What else do you need to know?
Yeah, great, thanks. So, are you the first or the second year student?
I'm first year student.
Okay, so how do you like the coursework?
Well, to be honest, it's too much. It's overloaded, but I like it. I like it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Sure, because I know that this is the way to succeed something in life. So, and I mean that you have to work hard. But now, regarding the content of the courses, I think that it's great that the university is giving us the chance to tailor our study program according to our own wishes. And I think that I remember when I was searching for my master's, I did a lot of research, and I think that this is the best program for somebody who wants to do cosmology, because there are so many courses, both from the theoretical point of view and the experimental point of view, because here in Leiden we also have the observatory, and you can combine theoretical cosmology with observations. So, and this whole combination is reflected on the courses, because there are, I think that in general there are 14 courses, and all of them is a great combination of theory and observations. So, yeah, I think it's the best place to be, from my little experience.
And to bring this back to your previous studies, how is the connection with it?
Well, I think that the connection was pretty good, but in my bachelor's I did most of theoretical work, because we didn't have we only had one astronomy course. Okay, so this is a disadvantage for me because I have to study harder to understand some things that lecturers here take for granted. And but in general, I think that from the theoretical viewpoint, I am fully prepared to deal with the courses. And I also, for example, I remember that for the effective field theory course, I don't know if you have it or not, I didn't study too much, I just did the weekly assignment, and I achieved a great score, in a 9.5. And I'm not saying to brag, but I think that this is because of my background, because we had some courses like field theory, like particle physics, and I think that I was fully prepared. So my bachelor's studies, they helped me a lot. It helped a lot for some courses, and for some other courses not. So I think it's balanced.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You've mentioned the observatory, so do you have any practical classes there?
Well, I've never visited the observatory. Actually, I've only seen it. I mean, the old building in the downtown in the center.
Have you walked towards it? Because you can just walk on the terrain and check it out if you like.
No.
By the way.
No, I didn't, but I'll do it. Okay, you can tell me more about it after we're done. I've never been I've never been in the observatory, but so if your question is if I have worked with data from the observatory, I haven't. No, I haven't. But we had some courses like modern statistics, which I took the exam today, and I don't want to tell you how did it go because it didn't go anyway. No. Well, we have some courses like the modern statistics, observational cosmology, large-scale structure, and galaxy formation. These courses are the nature of these courses is astrophysical. So if you want to work with some already proved theories, you can use data that may have been obtained by the observatory.
How would you estimate, by the way, how the courses actually approach the frontier of modern research in cosmology and astronomy in general?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think that thus far we have mostly focused on just perfectly understanding the theory and what has already been done. And in most of the lectures, there might be a last. In most of the courses, there might be a last lecture. The last lecture that the lecturers inform us about what is going on research. So thus far, yeah, I have focused on gaining a solid understanding of what is going on, and I think that I'm going to dive into research next year. And I think that the courses are structured this way to just ensure that you know what you're doing, you're perfectly capable of understanding in total the theory. So now, after you have completed the courses, you're ready to move on to research.
Okay, great.
Can I interject just for a second? Can you move your chair like 15 centimeters to my right?
So use this opportunity to rotate.
This is just perfect.
Okay.
Let me adjust this. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, so maybe you can tell us about your favorite course?
My favorite course is absolutely, without any further thinking, is theoretical cosmology. Yeah. The reasons is because, I fell in love with cosmology during my bachelor's, and I think that this course contains everything that a cosmologist should know and might need in their future research. Yeah, it's a great course. I really like it. I also like the way that the lecturer organized the whole course, the assignments and everything. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually feel it because I also take it, and we have heard already that this course, even though it's like 3 credits, the award is actually more like 6.
Yeah, well, but because you're asking me personally, I don't care about the credits. I barely look at them. I don't know. I mean that if nobody told me that theoretical cosmology is a 3 easy course, I wouldn't know. Yeah. Okay. I just did my study plan at the beginning of the year, and now and that's it.
Actually, probably did it the same way. Yeah, by the way, you've mentioned that the course load is pretty high, so how many hours approximately do you study per week?
You mean for all of the courses or for theoretical cosmology?
Oh, for all.
Yeah, okay, well, to be honest, I am not the most disciplined person in the world, so I like having a schedule, so every time I'm going to Google calendar, I'm making a perfect schedule, but most of the times I don't follow it. So I don't think that I can give a specific answer to this question, but maybe approximately it should be like, let's say, 5 hours per day. So in total, it's 35 hours.
I see. Yeah,
but this is an approximate answer. There is an uncertainty there. Might be larger or smaller.
yeah, I think that's a perfectly decent estimate. I remember yesterday I spent about like 3 hours on the practical sessions in theoretical cosmology actually. Yeah, so maybe you can also tell how many hours do you spend per that course?
For cosmology?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I did my bachelor thesis on cosmology, and I followed Bauman's notes, which the notes we use in the course. So for me, this was most of the content of the courses I have already done it in my bachelor, so I didn't spend too much time. Yeah, I didn't spend too much time on this course.
Okay, so I might already guess your possible research supervisor, but maybe you can tell briefly about that. So, what you were considering for next year?
You want me to tell you a person?
Yes, if you like.
Name? No, I don't want to say a name. I think it's pretty clear. But okay. But also we have to carry out 2 projects.
Oh,
In
I see.
Are you in the cosmology track?
I'm actually in theory, but I knew a bit.
But you just saw theoretical cosmology, so you said that's really nice. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, in the cosmology track, we have to carry out 2 research projects. So my plan is to do something theoretical and observational. So, according to my current plan, I would like to first do a research project theory, and then move to observations, like data analysis, etc. Yeah, this is the current plan.
I see, great. Yeah, so have you considered someone for your second project?
Sorry?
So who do you consider for your second project?
I don't know yet. I have some professors in mind, but I think that I need to, first of all, I need to determine what I want to do, because again, astronomical observations and data analysis is something that a lot of people are doing here. So I don't have an answer yet.
Okay. Yeah. By the way,
because I don't know yet. If I
yeah,
knew,
sure. Yeah.
For theory, I know. So yeah.
Yeah, we're also actually interested in just considerations. Well, okay. And by the way, where do you take the inspiration for your like research ideas, or maybe supervisors? For example, do you visit the weekly colloquia in Leiden?
You mean my inspiration in general for the cosmology?
Oh, like yeah, you can actually tell about that.
Can you say it one more time?
Yeah. So where do you take the inspiration for your research ideas?
Okay. Yeah, this is my from my supervisor, but from my previous supervisor in Greece. Yeah, I used to work with a professor. His name is more difficult than mine. It's Perivolaropoulos. Anyway, yeah, I don't expect you to pronounce it. Anyway, he's a great professor and a great researcher. He's doing state-of-the-art research, and he guided me for 2 years. So and he also told me when I applied for my masters, I applied here in Leiden and also in Utrecht, or as the Dutch may call it, Utrecht. Did I say it right? Anyway, and I got accepted both in Leiden and in Utrecht. And my professor told me that if you want to do cosmology, my supervisor, if you want to do cosmology, go in Leiden. It's a better place for cosmologists.
So why did he say that?
What?
Why did he say go to Leiden? Why is it better?
Well, I think that, well, first of all, without diving into too much info, there is a specialization cosmology track, which in Utrecht they don't have. I think that they only have theoretical physics and condensed matter physics. But now, if you want to dive into more information, I mean, the research in cosmology that's been done here is state of the art, and my supervisor also been here for some colloquia and conferences. So he told me that I think that he was here. I think that he was here like 2 years ago, and I told him one day, you know what? I'm searching for masters, and I found out of the blue something called Leiden University. And to be honest, I didn't know the city of Leiden.
Mhm.
Okay, I am Greek. I knew Utrecht. I knew Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and I think that all of my knowledge regarding the Netherlands is coming from football, from football teams. So yeah, there is no Leiden something. So I did not know Leiden, and I told him that I found this university called Leiden University, and I found a cosmology program. And he told me that this is a great university, and you should apply there. You're gonna love it. So
Great.
I
So
don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, no, that's really cool to hear, because that's indeed kind of what I was interested about. Why did you pick Leiden over Utrecht? Because that's kind of interesting for our research, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, yeah, because of cosmology, I can speak about, I don't know, like theoretical physics, because Utrecht also has the theoretical
Yeah.
physics track. So, but for cosmology, and I think that in Utrecht there are only 2 cosmologists there.
Mhm.
But here we have like, I don't know how many.
probably the whole faculty, I think.
Yeah, too many. So
Oh, great. So how do you like it here in Leiden?
okay, yeah. Well, to be honest, I don't have experience. I haven't experienced the Leiden lifestyle, if I can state it that way. And what really makes me sad is that I haven't experienced the university life. Because I didn't have the chance to interact with people. I think that the greatest part of education is to just watch, so to have the lecturer in front of you and to interact with him, make questions and disagree, etc. So most of my life is in my home. So I think that there is no difference between the life I'm doing now with the life that I did last year during the quarantine back in Greece. Okay, of course there are some differences, but I don't think that I am the best person to answer this question. Yeah, because I don't have experience.
Yeah, it's probably the part of the interview that resonates with us all.
Yeah, sure.
Because-
This whole lockdown thing, it's
Yes, okay, well, we've got vaccine in just the opposite building, so I think very soon you are going to experience that in like full
hopefully.
scale. Yeah, great. So,
But there is one thing that I didn't say, and I think that this is important.
Sure.
But of course, it's relevant with university. But I moved here in August,
Mhm.
and in August everything was open. There was no lockdown or something. So I found a job. I was working as a waiter for a month because afterwards lockdown came into effect. Restaurants they just worked with deliveries and takeaways. So during this month that I worked, I really liked it. People are so kind here in the Netherlands, and I don't speak Dutch, but all of them did. Okay, I know that there may be similarities in the language between English and Dutch, but I found it really impressive that people here in the Netherlands, all of them are talking English. You can, yeah. They were all of them were so kind. So this was a really nice experience during this month. But after October.
yeah, thank you for sharing that, because we were actually going to ask you about something like that as well. So thanks for popping it up yourself. Yeah, by the way.
We're about to wrap up.
Yeah, so so one of the final questions is, if you're of course comfortable to talk about that, what is your current financial situation? So you have mentioned that you've taken a part-time job, but overall, like, what kind of housing do you live in, and how do you support yourself?
Okay. I live in a studio. I think it's 17 square meters. So I think it's called studio, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And I live on my own. I don't have flatmates. And I don't have to share any of the like kitchen or bathroom. Everything is in my room. So I really like that. To be honest, I don't like sharing my bathroom and my kitchen. But I know that from what I understand, this is the Dutch way of living. People are living all together. So I think that maybe in the future I have to adapt to that anyway, to adjust to that. Yeah, and well, I did a part-time job, not just to support my parents. My parents are supporting me financially. I don't have any income. So well, actually, okay, I'm gonna give you some personal details now, and I think that this might be interesting for people who will come in Leiden. When I came here, I did some research on finding a house, and as it turned out, it's really difficult to find a house here. So I just checked via the Pararis website, which is maybe the most famous one, and I scheduled some appointments, and I've scheduled only 3 appointments. I remember that during July I got emails every day that there are available houses, but when I came into Leiden, this thing for some reason stopped. No emails, no house available. So I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do now? Because from the 3 appointments that I had scheduled, 2 of them were cancelled, and the one I went to, I didn't like the house, so I couldn't live there. So I was here living in a hotel and without any accommodation. Yeah. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? And the house, and I found the studio, and I contacted them. I told them that I want to schedule a viewing, and they told me that yes, of course, but we need 10 days. We will do a viewing in 10 days. So I had to stay for 10 days in a hotel. And after going to the viewing, and I told the landlord that, actually it wasn't the landlord, but anyway, I told them that I want to move in as soon as possible. They told me that we need 14 days to make the contract. So this means that for, in general, for 28 days, I lived in a hotel. And this was something that I really hated, and because I spent like 1,000 euros or more, and 1,500 euros. And then I said that, okay, I can't do that to my parents, so I have to find a job now to support them. Because it was too much, right? And I felt like it was my mistake that I couldn't find a place to live. But now I don't think that. I think that the whole situation of finding a place is really difficult, and so this is why I started working in the first place, because I felt bad. I felt really awful, because I think that I put a lot of pressure on my parents, because 1,000 euros it's too much, and so this is why I started work. But my parents, thankfully, and they can support me financially. So if I could give any advice to people who will come in Leiden, I am not a fan of making a deal by distance, just by the online viewing, because I think that the online viewing is a lie. There are too many things that you won't notice. So my advice to internationals who may come to Leiden is to, before their arrival, to schedule as many appointments as they can, because like, I don't know, 15 appointments or something, 15 viewings, because I only had scheduled 3, 2 of them were cancelled, and I was all alone in a foreign country without anyone, familiar person.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we probably conclude with the final question. So what would you like to improve here? What would you like to be improved in Leiden University? Or maybe
To improve on myself, or to suggest?
No, what would you like to be improved in the master's program? Like, which aspect?
Yeah, that's a nice question. I think that the program is really good. I don't think that something needs to be changed, because the courses are well structured. It's really nice that we have the chance to tailor our programs, to tailor our studies according to our wishes. The only thing that I would change, but I don't think that this may have an effect for a long time, is the current situation. Personally, I've done a lot of research on COVID and ways to deal with COVID, and I came to a conclusion. Actually, the scientific community came to a conclusion that these lockdowns don't help because they don't decrease the mortality rate or the cases number. So, and also, but I don't want to get into much detail. And an additional problem is that lockdowns have a negative impact on our mental well-being. So I think that master students, because we are much fewer than the bachelor students are like 150, we're like 40 or something. I mean, for each course. So I think that the university should have found a way to bring us in the university, to bring us on campus. Because for me, I'm a first year master student, and I have met you, and one Italian guy. This is really sad because this implies social isolation, right?
Okay.
So yeah, and he can't. Okay, I have met some other Greek people, and but this is only because we're Greeks. So we have a group, and we just communicate. But I didn't come here to just meet Greek people. Sure, I'm happy meeting them, but I can meet Greek people in Greece. So I'm here. So I want to meet internationals. I want to make new friends or something. I think that this whole online situation has a really negative impact on that. And also in the education, because you don't have the chance to interact. So this is the only thing that I would change, but I think that after Corona this won't be an issue anymore. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that much. We would of course like to talk with you more, but we have some restrictions on time of the interview as well. Yeah, so here we conclude, but of course we can chat more after this. Okay, thank you again.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. I hope that I helped.
Yeah, I really liked your perspective as an international student, because we only interviewed Dutch students so far, and obviously I'm a Dutch student too. So to hear these struggles on, okay, you go to this country and there is nothing, like, okay, maybe you booked a hotel, like, what are you gonna do? That's really,
Yeah, like,
wow.
the whole story was just wow. I was a bit trapped even.
Of course, I made some mistakes too, right? I mean that there are other international people who found a house immediately. Sure, I made mistakes. I didn't expect this to be so hard. That
So how is it in Greece? Is it much easier to find a house?
In Greece, when I moved into the city that I studied, but I didn't study in my hometown. I went with my parents there, and we went to a real estate office, and they told us, okay, you will come with me in my car, and I will give you a ride across the town. So I will show you like 10 studios, 10 apartments, and of course in Greece nobody's living in 15 square meters. No, actually not nobody, but when students are searching for a house, most of them they find a house like 50 square meters.
I started considering doing my PhD in Greece, you know.
No. But you know, the price is like on top of 350 euros. Of course, it depends. It depends on the city that you live in, right? I mean, if you live in Athens, which is the capital, but Athens is pretty big city, so it depends on where you live in Athens. So yes, in Athens it might be more expensive, but in other cities, like you can live in a decent place, and actually not maybe compared to the Netherlands, a luxury place, with paying like 300 euros per month. I was living as a student in Ioannina, which was the city that I studied in. I was living in a house, in an apartment, 55 square meters, and I was paying 300 euros every month.
That's insane.
Yeah, of course you have to exclude the gas and electricity, but if you want to add them all, make the sum, it's 400 euros top.